This is Bishop Samuel Blakes, and you're listening to Real Talk with Mary J.
Happy Merry Monday, everybody. I hope you're having a happy Merry Monday all day long. Listen, thank you for sharing with us on Real Talk with Mary J, a social outlet for a positive outcome. And we are celebrating all month long for the month of March. Yay! We're celebrating International Women's Month. And I have some powerful women that are going to be coming before you guys all month long. Listen, we are balanced. We are talking strategies, business, relationship, kingdom building, handling all aspects of life, financially, emotionally, socially. Get your life in order. And I have one that is going to come before you right now, guys. Listen, she is packed with power. She is a strategist and author of Do It Yourself Credit Repair. She teaches Bible and biblical principles. She teaches the kingdom how to advance in the kingdom financially, in their monies, in their business, all around. Listen, she has everything that we need, guys. She is packing with power. My good friend, I thank God for this great woman of God. Let's welcome her on the show today, Dr. Yolonda, Dr. Griffin.
Hey, woman of God, how you doing? Long time. The last time we did this, we had a lot of fun.
I know. Last time we had a blast, and you just have so much value to bring to the table to all of our listening audience, and I am excited once again. It's International Women's Month all month long. So, Dr. G, thank you for sharing with us once again, and welcome on the first opening. You're our first guest for this month. So, listen,
Wow.
I wanted to deal with you first because, listen, and we as women, we have to get our business in order. And I said, what better way to start than with Dr. G? So welcome to the show. Why don't you tell the people who you are? I shared a whole lot already, but I know there's so many things that you're doing that I miss from time to time. So will you tell the people all of what you're doing? Well, not all of it, Dr. G. We don't have all day. But tell them what you're doing. Give them a glimpse of your life and let them know who you are.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Well, I am formerly Dr. G, the money coach. I don't really do that anymore. I'm more now pursuing my career in education from a collegiate perspective. I'm writing a book, as a matter of fact, titled A Textbook, Apostolic Leadership. But I still have my professional business as a business consultant, a small business consultant, personal credit repair consultant. I still do that. But most of my energies now are channeled to Bethel, the place where God lives. I'm now a watchman for the Lord. That's what I've been running behind since 2015. And I'm excited about that role in my life. So that's where 100% of my energy goes. I get clients by referral. I don't do a lot of marketing and stuff like that anymore because I really prayed and asked God to position me where I didn't have to do all that hustling. You know, Mary J, I used to be on every day for an hour, and that was tiring. So God has been good. He's positioned me in such a place now where I don't have to hustle like that anymore. I can channel all my energies to serve God where I really want to be. But I still do the business. Now the business is considered my side hustle because God has allowed me to, I teach online. at several universities, and that was one of my goals as to why I became a doctor, a PhD uh, qualified instructor, because I knew when I got older, I wanted to go into the collegiate world as a business person, and that's not what I'm pursuing. More intellectual property. And I
Wow.
think that's important, with your career. Since we're talking about business, I know we're talking about
Yes.
business, but I
Yes.
think we need to learn to sit down and really look at our business plan, not just for your business, but even for your life, right? Like where do I see myself at 40, at 50,
Mm.
at 60? And what are you doing to make sure you get to that position, right?
Right. Right.
And that's kind of like has been always my perspective. What do I want to be doing at 50? What do I want to be doing at 60? What do I want to be doing at 70? Because now I didn't hit the 60. And I'm, excited that I've met most of my goals there. And
Awesome.
then I don't think you ever stop making goals, no matter how old you get. So financial goals. Don't ever stop doing financial goals.
Yes, yes, Dr. G, that's wonderful too, because we shift in seasons of our lives. We go to the next level. And I believe that God equips us in whatever season we're in. And whatever that
Hmm.
season that he would take us to, he downloads, he give us everything that we need during that particular season. And
Hmm.
then when that time comes that he shift you, because for every new level there must be a new version of ourselves, of who we are and what we present. And I just believe that when God gave us the talents, and he gave some five, some two, come on, when he gave the talents, when he saw what you did with the two talents, he multiplied, he
Hmm.
doubled it, he gave you more, he increased it. So I am not surprised of all that you're doing and all that you have already done. um Powerful woman of God in the kingdom, entrepreneurship, kingdom strategies and principles, and already author. You said you're writing a book, but you have already written one already too.
Well,
Um,
several. I've written
yep.
about, I want to say 7 books.
Wow. Wonderful.
Maybe 3 we push majorly. But
Yes.
this book I'm writing now, Mary
The
J,
textbook.
this the one. Yeah. Out
My
this book,
goodness.
I'm believing God will be a worldwide textbook that will be utilized in uh, religious institutions globally. That's
Wow.
what I am believing God for. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And I stand in agreement with you with that. And I know he's going to do it just as he's always done. And so now you say you're in your 60s, girl. Girl, stop lying. Stop lying tonight, yo.
Yeah,
Doctor.
I am. Yes, I am about to be 63. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my
Yeah,
age.
girl, you look
Um,
good.
I think today, with the world we're living in, if we're
Hmm.
still here, we're here for purpose.
That's right.
If he's preserving us, then we do what we need to do for is our healthy side, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're looking good too, honey.
Thank you,
So,
Doc.
but we know it takes work. We don't
Oh,
just, I didn't just wake up like this. Let me put it like, I'm not going to tell that lie. No, it takes
you ain't
work.
gonna say that I woke up like this, huh?
No, it takes makeup, lashes,
Woo.
brows, hair, the whole 9 yards. It takes work, working out, watching your diet. Come on. This is
Yes.
work, honey.
Yes.
As my daughter say, mom, beauty hurts. I say, and you're absolutely right. So
That's right.
yeah, I'll be 63 this November. And thinking about, what
God.
it's gonna look like by the time I'm 65.
Hmm.
That's where my mind is now.
That's good. Always thinking ahead, always
Mhm.
preparing for the next chapter in life. And that's what we have to do. It's a mindset of going from one
Mhm.
level to the level. We know in kingdom we call it from glory to glory, faith to faith,
Yeah.
level to level. But it's even in the natural, that's how our minds, we need to be thinking, foreseeing these things in the future. Where will we be and what will we have, right? And particularly, and I know we're talking about how to handle your business, but all that, holistically, we have to be in the right place at the right time, doing what God has called us to do in that particular season.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
Dr. G, let's talk about handle your business, how to handle your business. I know the last time that you were on the show, you dealt with credit repair, just helping, giving some nuggets and some strategies about getting your credit in order, getting a good foundation for your credit, and knowing your credit score and how important that
Mhm.
is. So let's
Mhm.
deal with the other side of that. But you can walk through the credit repair if you'd like to take us before you go into how to handle your business, in case for those persons that don't know a thing about credit, not along business credit, But just let's walk through that step by step and share with our listening audience.
Sure. With Step by Step Credit Repair, it is a book that is geared to help individuals with their credit. Credit scores now can get as high as 900. As we are approaching a economic scare downfall,
Mm-hmm.
uh, banks, finance companies, credit card companies are getting nervous. So that means credit requirements are getting a little more constrained than they were before. But then there are also some opportunities that are available. If your score, I'll say this, if you have a score of at least today, for a decent interest rate, you need a credit score of at least 640. Now, you can probably get credit with a score between 550 and 600, but you're going to pay a very high interest rate. You're going to pay
Even at that score.
even at that score. Because remember what I said, the score now can get as high as 900, whereas
Nine.
before it was
Yeah.
750, right? Then we went to 800, then it
Right.
went to 850, and now it can get as high as 9. So you being at 550 to 6 is not good. You're
Right.
considered poor credit or high risk credit, which means you're going to get approved, but you're going to be approved by what we
Restrictions.
consider loan sharks.
Mhm.
Those interest companies who
Yeah.
don't mind, yeah,
Yeah.
charging you very high interest rates.
Hmm.
And so what happens, you have people buying a Nissan at a Mercedes cost,
Right. Right.
right? And now I didn't realize this till I went to buy me a new car last year. And, they're financing cars 10 years.
What?
Yeah. Whereas before, and how I come to find that out, reading my paperwork, I said, hold up, what is this? He said, oh, that's the norm. So we just kind of put it in there for everybody. So watch this. If you're not reading that documentation and you're
Come
just
on.
going off of the verbal
Teach us. Teach us. Yeah.
conversation with you and that finance officer, you may find yourself in a 10-year deal. And
Or
and you're thinking, oh, I got a good car note. Well, you got a good car note because you're in a 10-year deal.
right.
And normally we financed cars from 4 years, then we went to 5 years, and some people even go to 6 years. But I think when you get to 10, that's a lot. And why is that a lot? Because guys, cars don't even hold their value.
Not
See,
even for the 5-year term.
right, it doesn't hold the value. Even you say, well, what if I buy a Bentley or Rolls? They may be worth a little more money, maybe a lot. I don't know. I don't own a Bentley. I don't own a Rolls, but I know I've owned Mercedes. I've owned Audis. I've owned BMWs, and guess what? From the time I purchased it till the time I got ready to trade it in,
Mhm.
it did
Problems are,
not have, that's right, the
yeah.
value. I may have paid 50 grand for a pre-owned BMW and
Mhm.
kept it 5 or 6 years. And then when I got ready to trade that bad boy in, I may have gotten 13 or 10 for it.
Yes.
So I don't believe in buying new cars. I believe
Mhm.
in buying used cars or pre-owned cars. Make sure you get a car that has a good reputation. Foreign cars are, of course, much better performing cars than American-made cars. But as it relates to your business, one of the things we miss as business owners, especially in the African American community, we fail to become official or legitimate businesses. I teach business plan at Delgado, and that's one of the major issues. And the challenge becomes because most people don't understand the differences between being a sole proprietor
Mhm.
versus an LLC
Yes.
versus a corporation. Is it a S corporation or a C corporation? And why are those things so important? Because they're going to they're going to determine your tax credits, right?
Okay.
And
Mhm.
then each formation, of course, comes with different rules and guidelines, both from the federal, the state, and the city. But that's one of the most important parts. And then, people say, well, what do I do? I'm a brand new business. How do I build my credit for my business? Well, that's a good question. One of the things you can do is, once you get legit, right,
Mhm.
which
Right.
means you're now going to have a bank account, is start applying for those 90-day term accounts. Start applying for 90-day term accounts. And then after you've done a 90-day term account for maybe a year under your business name. And I mean, like, and so why would I do that? Well, instead of buying toilet paper and napkins and soap and things of that nature from Walmart, go
Mhm.
find a 90-day term supplier that will sell it to you as a business owner, and then you could build business there. And then there are other types of 90-day term companies you can utilize to do that through, and you can find that in my book. But then, how do I build really good, strong business credit? Dun and Bradstreet is the number one business credit provider. I know you have Experian up there and Equifax, but they don't even touch the surface to Dun and Bradstreet. As a matter
Wow.
of fact, if you wanted to become a federal um, contractor with the federal government as a small business owner, even as a minority small business woman, business owned by a woman, Black woman, uh,
Yes.
you have to have a DMB account. Now, what I like about DMB is, hey, Treese, what I like about DMB is DMB will even let you build that credit account utilizing your personal credit, but it won't show up on DMP account as personal. It'll show as business.
That's good.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's how I built my first business credit account with Dun and Bradstreet. My husband and I owned a trucking company, and when we first came out, we had no business credit, so I built some small 90-day accounts. And then I did that a year, and then I went into Dun and Bradstreet. It cost me, I think, $800 a year, but it was worth it. And they
Mhm.
said, Ms. Griffin, hey, we can still build you with good credit. You have any visas, American Express, or anything? I said, yeah. She said, well, we'll put them on your business account. It won't show as personal. It'll
Wow.
show as business. And as long as you're paying them on time every month, right, you're going to get that credit. So when you're thinking about how do I build my business credit, That is the gist of it, guys. What you don't want to do is start putting all your business needs on your personal credit, because then what's going to happen? Your debt ratio is going to topple over.
Hmm.
And
That's good.
our personal debt ratio should not be more than 43%. Now, you have some finance companies today that are allowing you to go as high as 50%, but I think that's dangerous. Call me a safety girl, but I like to
Tell us
play.
why. Why is it dangerous to go that high?
Because if you're saying my debt ratio is going to be 50%, now mind you, your debt ratio does not include lights, water, gas,
Okay.
telephone. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But your debt ratio is going to include mortgages, credit cards, loans, um, auto loans, anything that's not a specific personal need, like the whites, water, and gas. So if you haven't included those things that are not considered a part of your debt ratio, and you're already at 50% of your income in debt, what happens like right now? Thank
When you
you,
need
Holy
that.
Ghost. Here's a good example. You have a lot of people, most of us, including me, here in New Orleans, Louisiana. I live in Jefferson. But watch this. After this last storm, beginning January this year, right? And for some
Mm-hmm.
people, it kicked in I think November. Mortgage notes went up by $300, $400, $500 because of homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
So watch this. If you're saying I'm at 50% debt ratio of my income, and that's not including the lights, water, gas, telephone, life insurance, health insurance, well, what happens when that mortgage increased by $400 to $500? I think Channel 4 did a special on it, and the lady's on there crying. She's saying, I don't know how I'm going to make it because I bought this house based on my income.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Right.
have to leave some cushion in there. You cannot, you have to be prepared for the what ifs. What if my car blow out? All four ties. Guess what? That happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you ride the kind of cars I ride, you know, Mary J, four tires blowed out is
Yes.
expensive, right? So you understand my point?
Yes.
Anything. How about when I broke my ankle
Oh
and
yeah.
we went to the hospital. They had to do emergency surgery 2 days later. Guess what they told my husband? You all have insurance, but you haven't met your deductible, so you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to give us $2,500 right now.
Mm-hmm.
What if? So no, I don't believe in the 50%. I believe in the 43%. I believe every business, if you run your business the way you run your household, you should be successful. Now, if you run your household like junk, then your business is going to be junk.
Yes.
You got more
Absolutely.
going out than you do coming in, you're going to
Absolutely.
be in the red, right? But if
Right.
you're supposed to have 6 months of income saved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the same goes for the business. You got to have at least 6 months saved
That's good.
for the business.
That's good.
And then you're using your credit, you're building your credit as you continue to grow your business. So all of that, how to handle your business, you got to handle your business like you handle your personal finances. So
Good
if
to
you
know.
if you're raggedy on the personal side, you're probably not doing too well on the business side. But if you're a stickler, especially with today's banking now, everything is digital, man. Nobody's balancing checkbooks. Remember we had the paper checkbooks
Yes. Yes.
and you had to
Everything is
balance that thing.
online and all.
Now people are not balancing checkbooks like that anymore. And
Right.
so what's happening? NSF, 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 NSF. hey, you've got to be a stickler about your my husband be like, if I don't, that woman don't pay her bills, it's a fight. No. And that's with both business and personal. Because at the end of the day, even with the federal government, you remember when they were doing the PPP loans, and they
Right.
were doing what was the other loan? It was another type of loan they were doing. Um, and one of my old clients called me and she said, Dr. G, they're telling me I don't qualify for the loan. I don't understand. Listen to this. I have all kind of credit with 10,000, 20,000 limits. I said, that's good. But what's your balance?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. She
Mm-hmm.
says, well, my balance is, they like 7,000, 10,000, 15,000. I said, and all of it's in your personal name? Yeah. I said, but you know better. Well, that's a long story. I said, well, you don't qualify because your debt ratio is too high.
Yes.
And the same thing goes for your business. They're going to ask you for a balance sheet. They're going to ask you for a profit and loss statement. And if the balance sheet doesn't show that the company overall worth is more than what you're borrowing,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to qualify, right? So how do I make sure? One thing we need to do, we don't sit down. And when I say we, I'm talking about us. How many
Right.
people actually sit down and look at what their office alone is worth?
That's good.
I work from home. This is my office.
Yes.
But I know what it's worth. I'm talking down to the chair, the printers, the fax machines, the
Dr.
lights.
G, I know you're talking all the way down to the ink pen and pad.
That's right. But you have software to help
You're
you. Let
right.
me tell you
You're
something.
right. This is
I own
good.
a dollar store. You remember that when I
Right.
owned
I
it?
do. I remember that.
We did that for 3.5 years. And after 3.5 years of breaking even, and I just told my husband and my business partner, y'all, I'm tired of this. I'm not cut out for this. I thought I
Mm-hmm.
was, but I'm not. So let's go ahead and sell the company, right? And right, Trees, let's go ahead and sell the company and come out of this thing before we get into any debt, right? And
Mm-hmm.
because I knew what the store was worth for everything in the store, shelves, racks, every product on the shelves, I was able to sell that store to one buyer. I didn't have to do no going out of business sale.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
smart. That's
So,
smart strategy there.
but again, it's all about what? Planning and preparation.
Right.
It's all about documentation,
Right.
right? And it's all going to come down to what's your worth, Mary J. What are you worth on paper? And guess what? You don't even have to have a whole lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can show I own this much of land and this is what it's worth and this is what I owe on it. I got 3, 2, 1 house, whatever, and this is what it's worth and this is what I owe on it. Right? I
Yeah.
mean, silver and gold, all that is in my business name because it's a part of my business. So you got to learn to separate your business from your personal. And when you learn to do that, you can take your business to heights. People laughed and people complained about Donald Trump. But I tell you what, smart businessman,
Mm-hmm.
smart businessman. Nothing is in the Trump name. Everything is in Trump Enterprises. And that's how you have to think when
That
you
is so
start
good.
talking about how to handle my business. And you can have one company and that one company can own 3 or 4 or 5 companies. because each company can have a DBA, and there's a DBA. They get a
Yeah.
different tax ID.
Yes.
Come on. And then you can roll them all up under one tax filing. People
That's good
don't realize
information. Good
how.
information. Good information.
Yeah, it's just so much, you could do with your business. Again, though, it's about strategy. So the first thing I ask people, where's your business plan? And don't tell me you can't do one, because Microsoft Word, if you got Microsoft Word, just say file new and type in business plan, and you'll be surprised of all the business plan templates that will come up to help you get started, right? To help you get, she said, yes, you are driving. Right. That's one of my mentees right there. And you need to have her on your show, Mary J. And let me tell you why. She is a ex-convict.
Okay.
I know she don't mind because she gives her testimony. But this girl now owns 3 or 4 houses in 2 different cities,
I may have met her.
collecting rents, running a business. Listen, don't tell me what you can't do if you put your mind to it.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, any other questions, comments, concerns? Anybody else asking questions?
Well, listen, you shared a whole lot of information with us, and just as far as doing the business, the DBA under one business and doing business as 5 more businesses, that was a lot right there,
Yeah,
that was a lot.
you can do that, and a lot of people don't know that. What is a DBA? It's just, and I'll give you an example. I have Living in Victory Ministries, right? But then I have DBA, doing
Doing
business
business.
as
Mhm.
Live Consultants.
That's good.
Then I have LIV Ministries owns Bethel. So everything is under LIV Ministries. So watch this. If you have a business and you don't have a nonprofit to attach to that my for-profit owns my nonprofit.
That's good stuff.
So guess what? You start writing off to your nonprofit from your for-profit. That's how the rich people do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They create, trust funds. To have a trust, you've got to have a minimum of $225,000 in assets. And then, of course, you can continue to add and build to the trust. And that's how they get away with not paying the taxes. Is creating trusts, creating, their own nonprofits and their for-profits, owning the nonprofits, and then everything rolled up to a trust. Nothing's attached to the individual person.
Wonderful. And I'm going to tell you why this is such great teaching and information that we as a people, African American people, as you said, needs to know. Because I believe the stigma with us as Black people, because we went so long for so many years not having anything attached to our name, not having anything attached to us to say, I own that. And then it was taken away. And we have this stigma that we don't want credit. That you get that old paradigm, that old teacher, oh no, don't get any credit. That'll ruin your name. And it's just the opposite. And so you spend many years staying away from credit, paying for everything in cash. And then when cash run out, what do you have?
What do you have?
What do you
That's
have?
right. What do you
When
have?
cash run out, when you lose your job, when all of these things happen, you have absolutely nothing. And so,
Mhm.
so this is some valuable information that you're sharing. And I know so many people that will even come in and press and listen to the replay can grab some nuggets. I know I'm a
Mhm.
post it and I'm a blast it all over social media. And those who can even pause and take notes from this and get some strategies in place and have a vision for your life and for your business. And I'm so glad that you shared with us as it relates to not having things in your name, because that's the other trick of the enemy. We're so guarded, right, and so territorial. We want, don't take that my name, I want to make sure, and then we leave our loved ones in limbo because we
Uh-huh.
passed away, and then they got to fight and scramble for things, and then they let the state or the city just come and take it all away because everybody wants it in their name.
And
Right.
their name. Oh
And
yes,
then,
black
yeah.
people, honey, we gotta have a name. Yes,
Oh
ma'am,
yeah.
Pam. Yes, we do. But guess what?
Absolutely.
It's not worth it to have it in your name. Even if you're just starting out, watch this. Um, with let's say your new business, um, and you own a car, but the car is in your name. Well, you can add the business to the car as an additional rider,
Hmm.
right? To
Right.
make it a business car.
Right.
And watch this, up your liability to 50,000 or maybe 100,000.
Hmm. I was just having that conversation last night with someone, telling them
Yeah.
that's something that I'm doing right now. So go ahead, continue. That is so good. Yes.
Yeah, and each year you do better. You can up that a little bit more, because here's what people think. People think because they have a LLC, which is a
Hmm.
limited liability company, and it means the company is limited to a certain amount of liability, but it doesn't stop them from
From suing.
suing you.
Right.
Doesn't
Right.
stop them from suing you. And then, I had a case where, they got into a really bad accident and they didn't have enough coverage. So the people came after them personally. And then they had to end up filing bankruptcy.
Hmm. I get
So, yeah, handling your business, the most important piece for me is structure, and then finance, structure and finance. And then once you get those two, on point, you can start uh, strategizing the credit side of it, the credit piece of it, right? To know, even when you go into a bank to get a small business loan, people say, well, I thought the SBA give you money. Not really.
it. Hmm.
The SBA, when you go to a bank to get a small business loan, they're not really loaning you the money. They're really going through SBA for it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's the catch, they're going to base it on their credentials, though. So, people say, I thought I get money because it's a new business. Well, no, because if you're trying to start a business that's no different from nobody else, the first thing they're going to ask you, Mary J, well, why your show any greater than Jimmy Fallon?
Right.
What makes you stand out from him? You understand that?
Yeah.
And that's within it. Why is your hot dog stand any different from Joe Blow hot dog stand? And I need to give you the money. People say, why I gotta have the money? Well, you gotta have some skin in the game.
Hmm.
I mean, I've invested in some people's personal businesses, but guess what? They had to give me a plan. I need, and then what kind of skin you have in the game? How you gonna ask people to loan you money and
Right.
you don't have nothing in the business that you put in?
Right. Right.
So what are you losing?
Nothing.
Nothing. So why am I gonna loan you money?
Everything.
You
And you
don't have
lose.
no skin in the game.
Right.
Right. What do you lose? You gotta be able to tell me something, right?
Absolutely.
So I know of an older Caucasian couple. They retired. They had, I think they had $500,000 in their IRA accounts, and they took every dime they had, sold their house, and they started a restaurant. All of their friends thought they had lost their mind,
Mm-hmm.
but they understood the concept and the value of business, especially starting a restaurant off the ground. They knew they weren't going to be able to get any money from anybody. Now, they could have put their cash up and said, I will borrow against my cash, but they chose to use their own money. Do you know today they are a franchise organization?
That's good.
So you got to have some skin in the game.
Absolutely.
Credit is easy, but the creditor wants to know how well you can manage money
Mm-hmm.
and what is your worth. And if you
That's right.
can't show that in black and white, then guess what? You're not going to get anything. So I would say, new business owners, find you some 90-day as cash accounts. Go open them in your business name. They don't really require a lot of information because it's 90 days cash. They're going to attach it to your checking account, or they're going to attach it to your debit card, but they're going to attach it where they know if you don't pay it in 90 days, they can quickly grab the money, right? And then when you think you can afford a Dun and Bradstreet account, go ahead and open that with them, and go ahead and add whatever credit you have so you can start building that Dun and Bradstreet account. And then after you've had it for a year, then go ahead and try and get your small business loan. Try and get your business credit card. I mean, when we had the dollar store and the trucking company, we had everything we needed, and everything was in the business name. Nothing was in our personal name.
That's good information.
Yeah. And even now, with my consulting business, everything goes to LIV. I tell people, I don't have no money. I don't have nothing. Everything goes to the business. Right. And that way, you're not held liable personally. That's the main thing you want. You don't
Mhm.
want to be held liable personally. And then you end up, like I said, somebody earlier, having to file bankruptcy because you weren't properly structured. That's
Wow.
the key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for someone like me, I'm gonna use me as an example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have a car and I have a personalized license plate on my car. To
Mm-hmm.
have my own car attached to my enterprise business,
Mm-hmm.
even though the car has a personal plate, will I still be able to attach that car to the business?
Mm-hmm. Just tell them I want to add this. The name of your business
Hmm.
is Mary J. Real Talk Mary J. As an additional rider.
Is it what? I didn't hear that. An
An
additional rider?
additional rider, right? Not insured, an additional rider. So
Okay.
that just simply means if something happens while you're in your vehicle going to do business as Real Talk Mary J,
Yes.
they're going to come, they have to do your insurance company. And then what you have to do is increase your liability
Right.
side, right?
Yeah.
50,000 to 100,000. I think you could do 100, 150. It's every 50,000. So 50, 100, 25, 50, 100, 150. And then 200, 150, 200, 250, 300. I think they'll let you go as high
Up to
as
300?
a million. Huh?
You said 1 million?
I think they'll let you go as high as a 500,000 on
Okay.
your personal vehicle, adding your company as a rider. And
Okay.
they'll know why you're making it that high, because you're doing business using your personal car and you want to add it as a rider.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Great
so
stuff.
they'll know that. Yeah, and then of course you can always get liability insurance for other, like most businesses, like myself, I'm a consultant, so I carry errors and omissions insurance, and that just simply means if I do um, a business plan for you, or I do a lot of nonprofit setups, right? Nonprofit developments. I write a lot of nonprofit bylaws, contracts, uh things like that. And let's just say if I made a mistake on a document I created for a client, and the client gets sued, then the client can come back to me and said, you forgot this clause, and because you forgot that clause, I'm now being sued. I'm now going to sue you.
Mhm.
Well, that's where your errors and omissions insurance come in at. And then of course,
Okay.
if you're doing any kind of blue collar work, you're going to have to carry liability to handle exactly what you're doing to keep people from coming after you personally.
Mhm.
And contingent on the type of businesses it is, blue collar workers who doing electrical work, uh, 18-wheeler drivers, plumbers, contractors. Well, contractors have a whole nother law they got to abide by. So most of them have to carry 1 million or more.
Okay.
But those electricians and people like that, who are on doing business as an LLC, then I would say to them, I would carry at least a 500,000. Let's say you did some wiring on somebody's house and the house caught a fire, and the
Mhm.
house is worth, 350. You need to have enough insurance to cover your error, right? And
Yeah,
we have to do that because we're human, and anything humans dealing with, there's going to be error.
that's right.
Yeah, there's nothing perfect about it. So when you talk about how to handle your business, I would say structure first, finance second, then go after the credit. And when I say finance, I'm simply saying know what your business is worth with just what do I have in my hand? I got a $1,200 laptop sitting up here. It's paid for.
Mhm.
That's part of my business, right? I've got studio lights, drop down screen. I mean, all of that is a part of what my worth. So the least you could do coming out the gate is adding up how much I got TV on the wall. Just, start
Yeah,
looking around your office and saying, how many boxes of paper clips you got, how much. You'll be surprised how that stuff start
right.
adding up.
Mm.
And before you know it, you're like, wow, my office alone could be worth $10,000,
Right.
$15,000. Contingent on
Right.
some people like real nice, rich furniture.
Yes.
Just that's where I would say start. And then once you get that real tight in writing, you got to have it in black and white, guys. You can't just yang, yang, yang off the mouth. You have to
Yeah.
have it in writing. Then I would say start applying for those small 90-day same as cash. And then once you can afford to do a Dun and Bradstreet, because Dun and Bradstreet to do a real business credit, you're going to have to, um, it's going to cost you about $800, and that's for their entry package. And then they have a medium package, and then they have the whole kits and caboodle, right? So, um, and once you do that, I promise you, you will be like, wow, all it really took was me sitting down and tightening up my paperwork. That's really the issue for a lot of people. They just don't
Yeah.
have tight paperwork. The paperwork is
Right.
raggedy. Yeah, it's just the paperwork is raggedy.
Right. And so getting those things in order, handling our business. Well, you talk about we talked about all of the details as it relates to the office, what is in your office, how much it's worth, how much is it worth on paper, writing those things down and having a plan and a strategy. What about the lights, electricity for running your business from home, a portion of
You,
that, your cell phone, right?
all that. You get
Children,
a
bringing
based on
children
the
to
square
work.
footage of your office, the IRS will give you a percentage as a tax deduction for your lights, your water, your gas. Now your telephone bill, like I carry my entire cell phone bill as a business expense. Right. It is. It's a
Yes,
business expense.
yes,
You using StreamYard, that's a business expense,
yes,
right? All of that.
right, right.
I think Mary J, I might spend about $150 a month on just digitized computerized software,
Hmm.
using different company stuff. So
Right.
yeah, all that's a part of it. It's all a part of
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Dr. Yo. Will you let the people know how they can get in touch with you, how they can find you, reach you? But I know you said there's specific things that you're focusing on right now, what you're doing, and I know you're taking by appointment. But just share with the people not all of I keep saying all of what you do. We can't share all of it, but just share with them how they can reach you and how to get in touch with you for services.
Sure. For the business consulting, they can go to livconsultants.com. They can go to ygliv.com. They can go to yolondagriffin.com. They can go to liveministries.net. I tried to, I pay for all them different, are they
Right.
all different
That's right.
websites?
That's right.
No, they're just different domain names that's being forwarded to one website.
Yes.
That's again, people don't even understand that kind of business strategy.
Hmm.
You can just with the digital world today, you can make yourself look like you one of the top 10 businesses on the market because you got a sharp website. Thanks, Trees. You got a sharp website. You got I have a 800 phone number that answers my phone. Just
Right.
different things like that can help you. So they can go right there and they get a 30-minute free consultation. I listen, I let them talk for 30 minutes. And then if they sound like they would be a good student, then I'll take them. And then believe it or not, there are some people I've said, I don't think you're ready. I don't
Hmm.
think you're ready to start a business. And I would say to anybody on here too, if you don't have a business mentor, you're in trouble. You need a business mentor. Join a business organization that can, have people in it that deals with your profession. All of those things are help. And I want to say, check out Southern University's Small Business Portal. They offer some really nice classes for free for small business owners. So that's something else you could also share with them, Mary J, about their for business here in New Orleans.
Okay, Dr. Yo. Dr. Yo, Dr. Yolanda Griffin, everybody. We are so excited to have her sharing with us. She says she's no longer the money coach, but she's still the money coach, y'all. Y'all already she's shaking her head no.
Right.
She's
Because girl,
still
I really, Treese can tell you now, Treese is with me forever because she is one of my most dedicated mentees.
awesome.
So Treese could call me for anything. Treese and I talk about stocks, what's good, what's bad, how you doing, what you looking like. What's up with the, gold and silverware we at on those kind of things. But to do money coach every day like I used to, nah.
It's,
And I
no.
don't miss it. I really don't. I don't miss it at all because I'm caught up in the Lord now. But I do pick 12 students a year when the Lord drops it in my spirit. Teresa
Mhm.
tell you, and I'll give them 6 months of mentorship to get their money and their finances. And she said, I'm passing the torch. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's gonna be the next money coach.
Awesome. Awesome. I
Uh,
love it.
yeah, and then after that, I tell them, you go out and mentor 12 women and you
Mhm.
teach them what I taught you. And if each one of them go and mentor 12, then before you know it, we got a chain link going, right? And we have some Black women who are strong and know exactly what to do. And I would say, tell everybody to read The Millionaire Next Door. I think it's one of the most powerful finance books ever written.
Awesome. Awesome. The
Uh,
Millionaire Next Door. Do
the
you remember who the
Millionaire Next
author is or
Door.
not?
Treese, you know who that author is? The Millionaire Next Door. That's one of the books I'm all my mentees have to read that book. And the reason why, and I know our time is running out, Mary G.
We have
Um,
5 minutes. You're good.
you're gonna learn how millionaires think. You're going to learn how to, I think for Black people, we become consumers.
Mm-hmm.
We consume a lot of stuff, right? We want to drive the name brand clothes. Who's the
Yeah,
author to the book, Trees?
the
Yeah,
designer
we want,
stuff.
yeah, like right now, we're going to give a parade to Beyonce. Are y'all serious? Who is she? She is tearing Black women down, me, especially the Christian woman. And y'all gonna give
Mm,
her a parade and y'all gonna go pay, what is the minimum ticket? I think they said 1,200 or 800 bucks. I don't know. But honey, before Thomas Stanley, there it is. Before I spend that kind of money on entertainment, not
mm-hmm.
me. I'm gonna go I'll go buy me a ounce of gold before I go do that.
Right.
So yeah, that book right there, Mary J, The Millionaire Next Door. That is one of the best books you could read. And when you finish reading it, if your
Yeah.
mindset has not changed, then all I could say is shame on you.
Yes. Yes.
Shame on you.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's it. So thank you, woman of God, for having us on tonight. It was fun as usual.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
enjoyed it. I missed you. I haven't seen you in ages.
I know, girl, but I'm still on here, still doing what I do. I miss you too. Can't wait to see you again in the from
Yeah.
the kingdom sector. What do you have coming up? What's going on with you as it relates to the kingdom and what you're doing in ministry right now? What's
I
happening?
am tomorrow I am preaching at Queen's Forerunners with Prophet Frank Delaney. Wednesday night I'll be in La Place teaching why do Christians celebrate Passover.
Okay.
um that's where I'm into now. I'm a watchman. I teach end times. And what's the sons of Issachar, they understood the time and what Israel should do. I do a Bible study every evening, I mean on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, and I do Torah teaching aligned with the Old and the New Testaments comparably on Saturdays for 12 o'clock. And I hold a Passover Seder meal. We having that on April 5th. They can go to Bethel.com, BethelLive.com, BEITELLIV.com. It doesn't cost you anything but to register, because I believe we are to give the word of God. And he said, feed them too. And I want people to know It's time to get close to Jesus, Mary J.
Yes.
It's time to stop playing games. Um, thinking of, I do a teshuva for 40 days. I think I'm gonna call you to do that. You dropped in my spirit today.
Oh,
Um, teshuva
good
is 40
stuff.
days of repentance,
That's good stuff.
and the theme this year is stop, step, and repeat. Stop, step, and repeat. And
Yeah.
how do we help people stop compete, stop committing repetitive sin? How do we help people do that?
Yes.
And so yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We have a good time every year, but this year I think I'm gonna do something different and choose four major speakers to do a series each week because it's 40 days up to shoot.
40 days. Wow.
Yes, so that's really 5 weeks. Tree said life changing, right? 5 weeks of
Yes.
ministry, yeah, but powerful, but I'll get back with you on that. But that's
Definitely.
really what I'm into now. I'm into literally, we do deep studies. Some of my students say, we deep on here, y'all. She deep. And God is deep.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, And that's amazing because I know God gave me, and I share with the Women of Treasure organization that I'm the founder and CEO of the Word. I was a speaker on another platform over in Nigeria, but it was online, and God dropped in my spirit the night before. RE, just RE, and I was like, okay, and that's what he was saying, reestablish, right? Restructure, repent.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
you know, I was like, wow, God, and I was telling the ladies, I just hear God saying whatever the is in your life, whether you have to
Yeah.
restructure, reassign, reposition, repent, whatever it is, get it together
Hmm.
because that is what God is saying in this
Yeah.
season. So
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
So
Thank you so
we'll
much,
get
Dr.
connected
G.
again, woman of God. I love you so much. You look
Love
so
you too.
beautiful. Proud of you.
Thank
Y'all gotta
you.
go check out her testimony. She's got a powerful testimony as well.
I
Um,
am going to get connected with her. I think we perhaps met at another function. I'm thinking that we met at another event, whether it was through New Home Ministries for some strategy teaching classes that was done over there. I believe that I met her at one of those functions there. But we'll
yeah.
catch up and
Oh
see.
no, I was saying check your testimony out too. You
Oh,
got
you're telling her to check my yes. Okay. Yes, yes, yes,
you
yes.
have a testimony too.
Absolutely.
That's powerful. She said y'all did meet. Y'all
Okay.
met at Restore.
I think we met at some I forget the name of it, but it was one of the Kingdom Principle teaching. I believe that was done at New Home Ministries, where Bishop had speakers to come in, and I remember a young lady
Mhm.
being there with a powerful testimony as well. That were buying real estate and so on and so forth. But we met at one of
Okay.
those leadership meetings of some sort. Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah.
cool.
So thank you, Dr. G. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody, all of our listening audience that are sharing with us. Dr. G, I just want to know, did you have a happy, merry Monday tonight? I know I did. I know I did.
Of course, that beautiful smile alone ought to make people have a merry Monday with Mary. How do you say it? That alone should make you have a good time. And of course, Mary, it was an honor and a pleasure to be here with you on tonight. I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
Oh, I love you too. I love you too. Thank God for you. Thank you for sharing with us once again. And it's always good when we come together because we
Yeah,
always have like minds, strategy, principles. That's what we do. That's who we are to keep the kingdom advancing. So thank you for sharing with us on tonight, Dr. G. Happy Merry Monday, everybody. Happy Merry
bye
Monday.
bye.